We all tell ourselves this little story. It's a hopeful one, but it's kind of a lie. It goes something like this. I'll finally be happy when? When I get that promotion, when I finally buy the house, when people respect me. But what if that finish line you're sprinting towards, what if it isn't even real? Let's get into a life lesson that took one man 50 years to learn. So maybe, just maybe, it won't take us quite that long.
So, this quote, it's from a 77-year-old man named William. And honestly, it's the key to his entire story. He says that just when you think you're about to cross it, you look up and poof, the finish line is even further away than when you started. It's this chase, he says, that can just completely consume your life.
And for him, it absolutely did. 50 years. Just let that sink in for a second. That's half a century, basically a whole adult life spent running after something that was never, ever going to give him what he was really looking for. And we're not talking about some abstract idea here. This was his actual lived experience.
So how in the world does a 50-year chase even start? I mean, what could possibly light a fire so intense that it just keeps burning for decades? Well, for William, it all started with this one really painful memory from when he was just a kid.
And this right here, this is the moment that set the entire course for the rest of his life. Seeing his dad, working his hands raw, just to be looked down on, it made 10-year-old William make a promise to himself. That is never going to be me. I'm going to be somebody. People are going to respect me. And just like that, the race was on.
And the price of that race, wow, it was huge. We're talking 60, sometimes 70-hour work weeks, year after year after year. He admits it himself. He missed everything. The family dinners, the school baseball games, the simple, quiet moments of just watching his kids grow up. He was so busy building a career that he was completely absent from his own life.
And for a long, long time, it really seemed like all that sacrifice was paying off, He was climbing the mountain he'd set for himself as a little boy, getting closer and closer to that summit where he was sure happiness and respect were just waiting for him.
And look, by every external measure, he had made it. By the time he was 52, he had gotten everything that 10-year-old kid ever wanted. He was a vice president, he had that big corner office with the amazing view, his name was on the door, and yep, people called him Sir. He had won. He'd done it.
So, after all that work, after all that sacrifice, after literally reaching the very top of his mountain, how did he feel? Victorious? Fulfilled? Finally happy?
Empty. That one word just changes everything. He said it was like climbing a massive mountain, only to get to the top and find nothing. Nothing but a view of another, even bigger mountain off in the distance. The prize he had given up everything for just wasn't there.
And get this, it took him another 20 years to really understand why. And the realization he finally had, it changes the whole game. He'd been chasing the wrong things for what he thought were all the right reasons. And here's the breakdown of his big aha moment. On one side, you've got what he thought he wanted, the money, the title, the house, the respect. But on the other side, that's what he was actually after, the feelings. See, he didn't really want a corner office. He wanted to feel like he mattered. He didn't just want a bigger paycheck. He wanted to feel safe. He was trying to buy an internal feeling with external stuff, and, well, it just doesn't work that way. This same exact mistake almost destroyed his marriage. He thought his whole job was to provide things, a nice house, new cars, a comfortable life. But his wife, she told him this, point blank. She said, William, I don't need the money. I need you. I need you to be here. She just needed more of him, not more from him.
Okay, so fast forward to today. William is 77 years old, and he sees this same dynamic playing out all around him, with his friends who are getting older too. He says he basically observes two totally different paths, two ways of living out your final years. And it has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you have, or even how healthy you are.
This anecdote he shared it's just staggering. He has a friend, 84 years old, who is still caught in that same trap, still playing the comparison game, still looking over the fence, and still letting his own happiness get ruined by what somebody else has. He's miserable because he never stopped running that race.
And this right here, it illustrates those two paths perfectly. On one side, you've got the chasers. They're still keeping score, still complaining, still miserable. And then you've got the beers, like his 86-year-old friend Earl. Now, Earl doesn't have much money and his health isn't great, but William says he is the happiest person he knows. Why? Because he's just grateful. He's curious. He's focused on simply being here.
All this leads to William's ultimate definition of freedom. And man, it is powerful. It's not about having $1 million in the bank. True freedom, he says, is an inside job. It's when your sense of being okay on the inside is no longer dependent on your circumstances on the outside. That right there, that's the only freedom that really matters.
Okay, so this all builds to a direct lesson for every single one of us, right now, in this moment, because William's story isn't just about his past, it's a huge warning about our future.
Here it is, the trap. According to William, this simple, innocent-sounding way of thinking is the single most effective way to waste your one precious life. It's a formula for endlessly putting off actually living. He believed this lie for 50 years, and it cost him 50 years.
And here's the profound truth he learned at the very end of his 50-year chase. All those feelings he was trying to earn from the world, worthiness, safety, love, they were already his to begin with. He just needed to stop running, stop striving, and finally look inside.
So I'll leave you with the same question William poses to all of us. What's your finish line? What's your I'll be happy when? What is that one thing you're chasing, believing it holds the key to your happiness? And maybe more importantly, what would change if you just stopped running long enough